In today's video, we're going to go over the best way to prospect and generate leads as a brand new agent to absolutely crush it and dominate the market in 2022, where it's an extremely hot market. Inventory is all-time low, demand is all-time high, and if you follow this exact blueprint, and I've condensed it and refined it over the years to just 4 simple steps, you'll be on track to generate more than 6 figures of income, and that's what I've created for myself, for my own business. So let's get right into it. Hey, what's up everyone? It's John Lee here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're brand new, welcome. And if you've been on my channel previously, you know I drop a lot of value bombs to help real estate agents and business owners scale their business and dominate the online space. So let's get right into this video. The first step I want to talk about is location. So, proximity. You want to make sure that you go door knock in the city where you live in. You want to make sure you understand the areas. You know the pockets of the city that are luxury. You know the pockets of the city that there's a high turnover rate in. You know the pockets of the city where you probably want to stay away from and not necessarily live in. So that's why it's extremely important that you make sure you door knock within close proximity to where you live, because that's where you know the area the best. You don't want to just go to a city where people are saying, hey, there's a lot of demand, there's high turnover rate. You don't want to go to a city that's a few cities away, because you honestly have no idea what's going on. You don't know the place well, you don't know the areas well, so you want to stay within close proximity. Next thing you want to look out for is a high turnover rate. So why is this important? A high turnover rate is extremely important because that means there's a lot of movement happening in, around, and out of that specific neighborhood or city. And that's extremely important because you don't want to work in an area where there's very low turnover rate, because that shows that a lot of homeowners actually hoard their property and they plan to live in that property until the day that they die. So you want to be in a place where there's high turnover rate, because that means there's constant movement of population migration. Either they're moving into that neighborhood or city, or they're upsizing, downsizing. It's just more exciting. There's more activity going on, which means there's a bigger chance that there could be some activity coming your way as a real estate agent. And that's typically where you want to be, because that's where the pulse of the market is, and you want to stay on top of the pulse. Next thing you want to look at is market price and average days on market. So when it comes to the average market price, you want to see homes that are selling above the market price, meaning there's more demand for that particular neighborhood, and buyers are willing to pay more because they expect home prices in the area to continue to grow, which is why they justify spending more than market value to just get into that neighborhood or into this home. Another statistics that you want to pay close attention is average days on market. So typically, if a specific neighborhood has homes are selling above market price and less than the average days on market, again, that means that there's more demand for buyers to want to move into that neighborhood, and there's more buyers looking, which is why there's more homes that are sold in less than the average days on market. That's very important. Moving on to step number 2, this is the $1 million question. Script. So what's the mindset? When you approach a homeowner, when you knock on their door, keep in mind you're disturbing them. You don't really know what is going on the other side of the door. Chances are you don't know if they have a big dog behind the door. I get so scared when I walk up to a door, and after I knock or I ring the doorbell, I hear barks, and then I hear these scurrying feet, and then I hear scratches on the door. I get so scared because I don't know what's going to happen when that door opens. There's a big German Shepherd that's just going to pounce on me and attack me or bite me or something like that. So it's very scary. And you want to come into the mindset that, hey, I am unwanted. I am soliciting. I don't they don't want me to be here. You might be interrupting them, especially nowadays with people working from home. They might be at work, they might be mid-conference, mid-call, and you're interrupting them. So what I've realized is, typically the agent script is, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I just sold their a home in the neighborhood, or there's a home in your neighborhood that just sold for $300,000 over asking, and I still have a lot of clients pre-approved and ready to buy, and they want to move into this neighborhood. And honestly, that script has been used over and over again, and it's not going to fly. I've tried the script many, many times in different areas, different neighborhoods, different types of properties, and homeowners are smart enough to catch up on this trend, where realtors are kind of lying and misguiding homeowners into thinking that they have ready and able buyers, when they're just there to get you to list the place before they bring in the buyers. Which, I mean, if they already had buyers, they would bring them in to look at it, or they bring their colleague in, or whatever crazy tactic that they're thinking of, or curating on the back end. I don't know, but what I know is I don't want to start any relationship with any clients by lying to them. I want to be honest. I want to be respectful. I want to be valuing their time. And the best way for me is to lead with value. So the goal isn't to get them to list with you right at the door. Chances are they're not going to do that. Like I said, you're interrupting them, all right? That's the mindset you have to come in. And you have 5 seconds to make an impression. And the best way to do this is to lead with value, is to not be salesy, is to provide enough value where you want to get them interested or pique their interest into working with you eventually somewhere down the road. And the only goal that you have is to get their name, email, and phone number. You're not trying to close them at the door. Like I said, you don't want to do that. And that never works, all right? You want to lead without value. You want to show them what you got, and you want the opportunity to work with them. And just maybe when they think about making a move, they might just think about you. So how do you go about doing that, John? Well, market report. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I'm just in the area here. Don't know if you know too much about what's going on in the neighborhood, but properties have been selling on average for about $1.5 million, less than 30 days on market, and they're selling for actually $250,000 above asking. So the real estate market is constantly changing and is rapidly picking up. I would hate for you to kind of miss a pulse on the market if you do plan on selling in the near future. What I want to do here is just to keep you informed about the market, so when you're ready to make a decision, you know exactly what type of market we're in, what to expect, and you're better off making a best informed decision for you and your family. Sound fair enough? So I would typically lead with the conversation with something like that, to give them a little bit of stats about what's going on in the market, to provide value into saying that, why don't I keep you updated with the market in the event that you're wanting to do something with real estate, you know exactly what's going on and you have a pulse on the market. And by leading with value first, it's almost natural that they expect you to solicit and they expect you to ask for the contact information, because how else would you keep them updated with the market? So then you want to follow up with, perfect, what's the best phone number? What's the best email? And your name again, ma'am? Or sir? So that way, when you ask for the contact information, you want to make it seem like it's almost like natural, like it's not awkward, right? Because they'll get a sense of that. So when you provide value, lead first with the market report. Again, they're thinking, great, yeah, I love to be updated with the market, and you just want to get right into asking. You don't want to, be like, would it be okay if? What's the best phone number we should have? And a great technique that I usually do is I'll usually have my phone handy, so I'll just open up the note tab on my phone, like, yeah. So what's the best phone number to reach you? Your email address. I'll type it all up, and then I just show it to them. Like, all right, is this it? Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set you up on a market update every single month, first day of the month or the last, however you want to structure your email campaigns. I'm going to send you a market report, and you have the option to unsubscribe if you don't want to be notified. And if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out back to me. I'll have my contact information below. Sound fair enough? Great. Boom. On to the next one. And this has done wonders for me, because by leading with value first, you're building rapport, you're building that trust factor, and on top of that, you just got a way to contact them. Whereas if you try to be overly salesy and closey and lie to them or manipulate them, then number one, they don't trust you, and number two, the chances of them actually opening up and talking to you or being vulnerable to you or providing their information is significantly lower. So after you get their contact information, you want to follow up. That's extremely important. Follow up. So there's 3 follow-ups that I want you to keep in mind. First one is send a personalized email. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, it's John here. Just got back to my office. I just wanted to send this quick email to you to thank you so much for your time, knowing it was interrupting you. You were in the middle of something, but just thank you for giving me the chance and opportunity to speak with you. Like I said, I'll get you set up on market update. So that's what I want to do, because now you not only do you keep yourself top of mind, now they feel like they are a priority. Now they feel like they are your most important client and the only client you're working with, and you want to make them feel special. The next thing you want to do is to set them up on your CRM and email drips. So there's many platforms and softwares that you can use for your CRM and email drips. Ideally, the goal here is just to have a platform where you can essentially put together all of your database from your past clients to clients that you're currently working with to new clients that you're prospecting, and you can categorize them and you can set them up on different email campaigns. So specifically for this one, it will be the market update campaign. And there's many platforms. There's MailChimp, for example. There's Go High Level. There's Real Geeks. There's a lot of these platforms. If you just Google CRM for best CRM for realtors or best email drip campaigns for realtors, you'll have abundance of options that pop up. The key thing here is not pick which is the best platform to use, but which platform can you consistently use. Because a lot of times when agents pick up these CRMs, they use it for a few weeks or a few days, things get busy, they lose track or lose count, and then they just stop using it. So you want to make sure you're constantly on top of it. And the only way to really do that is to constantly update and check your system every single day. That way you don't let things pile up, because when they do, things kind of get lost between the cracks. And then the third and final thing you want to follow up with are holidays, because that's a good way to kind of hey, Merry Christmas or Happy New Year. Just want to wish you Happy New Year and hope fantastic year this year. That way it's kind of like a non-pushy way to keep yourself top of mind without being unwelcoming, or like Happy Thanksgiving or Happy Valentine's Day, things of that nature. And I've realized that this does really well. Again, it feels organic, it feels natural, it feels like you're not interrupting them, because people expect to be greeted during holidays. So that's something that I would definitely do. Last but final thing, you kind of want to look at more of the modern strategies. So how do you take this to the next level? Because this is traditional. So you want to combine traditional with modern strategies. So one way to kind of door knock for you online is to be able to set up a Facebook ad. So if you set up a Facebook ad that said, recently sold, want to know the value of your home. If you set up a campaign like this, home sellers in that specific neighborhood. You can target them directly, and it's localized, it's extremely focused. And what that does is you can actually pinpoint a specific neighborhood within a certain radius to target. So around that listing, you can set up a radius about 1 mile or 5 miles around, where people living in that neighborhood. You can, again, we'll go over a separate tutorial on exactly how to set up Facebook campaigns, but just to kind of give you an idea of how we can really scale this and 10x this and take it to the next level. Once you start doing that, then homeowners in that area who are curious about, maybe I want to find out more information about the property that's sold, or maybe I'm curious to see how much my home is worth. It gives you the opportunity to start that conversation with potential buyers or sellers without really soliciting them, because there's only so many doors you can knock on a day, and chances are the sellers might not open up, or they might be at work, they might be out of house. So by doing this online, you make sure you get to all of the homeowners where they're casually scrolling on their phone after a long day. They will get to it, and they will see it, and they might just click through. This gives you the opportunity to have a conversation with homeowners where you wouldn't have otherwise got the chance to if you were just solely door knocking. And another thing that you could potentially do is make Facebook posts with geo hashtags. That way, when people are casually scrolling through their feed, again, if you can do geo hashtag Surrey, hashtag Vancouver, hashtag Burnaby, hashtag London, hashtag New York, hashtag maybe specific neighborhoods in that city that you're in, hashtag Guildford, hashtag North Burnaby, hashtag, you know what I mean, right? If you have geo hashtags, again, it's more of a kind of an indirect way for you to market yourself and just potentially pique their interest if they're living in that specific neighborhood. When they're casually scrolling, your geo hashtag might actually pop up as a either a sponsored post, if you do decide to boost it, or just a hashtag post, for example. So those are the 4 ways that you can follow through the exact blueprint that I took and was able to generate more than 6 figures of my business just from door knocking, traditionally in person, also having a kick-ass script in place, a whole follow-up process after, as well as combining that with modern marketing strategies. This is how you scale your door knocking. This is how you absolutely crush it in 2022. Thank you so much again for tuning into this video and sticking to the very end. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for my next video. Take care, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.